In 1978, a farmer in rural China wakes up before sunrise and walks out to his field. No money in his pocket, no electricity in his home. His future already decided: poverty. Fast forward just 45 years, that same country is launching rockets into space, building artificial islands in the middle of the ocean, controlling the global supply chain. This isn't a story. This is the greatest economic rise in human history. And in this video, we're going to break it all down. How did China pull this off? What's really behind this model? And what does it mean for the rest of the world, including you? First, let's talk numbers, because numbers don't lie. In 1980, China's GDP per capita was just $300. Today, over $12,000. In 40 years, 800 million people climbed out of poverty. That's more than twice the entire population of the United States. The World Bank said it straight: no country in human history has lifted this many people out of poverty this fast. Never. And it gets bigger. Today, China is the largest trading partner of over 120 countries, more than America. The phone you're watching this on right now, a huge chunk of its components were made in China. Your clothes, your shoes, your electronics, flip it over. You'll probably see it, made in China. But this didn't happen by accident. This was engineered. In 1978, China's leader Deng Xiaoping made a decision. Simple idea, revolutionary consequences. Open the door to the outside world. He launched what's known as the Reform and Opening Up policy. And it had 3 pillars that changed everything. Pillar 1, Special Economic Zones. Ever heard of Shenzhen? In 1980, it was a tiny fishing village. Today, it's one of the tech capitals of the world. Population? Over 17 million people, built in 40 years. Pillar 2, Open the door to foreign investment. Western companies, American, European, were told, come build your factories here. Take our cheap labor. But teach us your technology. That deal? Genius-level strategic thinking. Western companies thought, cheap labor, amazing deal. China thought, we're learning, we're building. One day, we'll do this ourselves. Pillar 3, State-controlled planning. China's economy isn't fully free market capitalism. But it's not Soviet-style communism either. It's a hybrid, where the government decides where investment goes, which industries grow, which technologies get priority. And that model worked unbelievably well. So how did China become the factory of the world? It wasn't just cheap labor. It was an entire system built from the ground up. Think about it. To build one iPhone, you need a glass screen, microchips, a battery, camera lenses, speakers. In China, all of that exists in the same city, sometimes the same district. Supplier to factory? Maybe a 20-minute drive. In the West, that same process could take 6 months across 3 different countries. That supply chain efficiency? That's why China can manufacture products at prices nobody else on Earth can match. And then add the infrastructure on top of that, the world's largest high-speed rail network, 40,000 kilometers, most of the world's busiest seaports, in China. The ability to build an entire megacity in under 10 years. This isn't just development. This is building the foundation of power. In 2013, Xi Jinping announces the Belt and Road Initiative. The media said, China's helping developing countries. How generous. But what was actually happening? China went to Africa, Southeast Asia, Central Asia, and they said, we'll build your ports, your roads, your railways. No strings attached. Just take the loan. This strategy has a name: debt trap diplomacy. Take Sri Lanka. They took massive loans from China to build the Hambantota port. Couldn't pay it back, so they handed the port over to China on a 99-year lease. That's not foreign aid. That is geopolitical positioning disguised as generosity. Because when China's ships dock at your port, when Chinese companies are building your roads, when your government is running on Chinese debt, can you really make independent decisions anymore? There's a pattern in history. When a new superpower rises, the old superpower doesn't just step aside. Harvard professor Graham Allison gave this pattern a name, the Thucydides trap. It happened in ancient Greece. When Athens was rising, Sparta got scared. War followed. Now, what's happening between the US and China? Not an open war. But make no mistake, this is a war. The tech war. America has blocked semiconductor exports to China. Because chips are the new oil. AI, military weapons, electric vehicles, everything runs on advanced microchips. Control the chips, control the future. The trade war, Trump slapped 25% tariffs on Chinese goods. China hit back. Trade between the two largest economies on Earth dropped. But it didn't stop, because they need each other too much. Taiwan, the most dangerous flashpoint. Taiwan is home to TSMC, the most advanced chip manufacturer on the planet. China believes Taiwan is its territory. America backs Taiwan. If one miscalculation happens in that strait, the entire global economy goes into shock. But here's what most people miss. China is not invincible. There are cracks in the foundation. 1. The demographic time bomb. Decades of the one-child policy have left China with an aging population. Over the next 30 years, the workforce shrinks. And when the workforce shrinks, so does the economy. 2. A mountain of debt. Local governments across China are drowning in debt. Evergrande, one of the biggest real estate companies in the world, collapsed. This financial bubble is real, and when it pops, nobody knows how bad it gets. 3. The innovation problem. China is the world's best at copying and scaling. But original innovation? Still behind. Foundational research, Nobel Prizes, breakthrough technologies, America still leads. 4. The cost of authoritarianism. An authoritarian government can move fast, but when it makes a mistake, there's no one to correct it. Nobody wants to tell the boss the truth. And that kind of blind spot can be catastrophic. You might be thinking, okay, this is all big country stuff. What does this have to do with me? Everything. The phone you're watching this on right now, the chip inside it was made in Taiwan. The components came from China. The software was written in America. If those three countries go into serious conflict, that phone stops being made. In 2021, a single chip shortage caused car prices to spike across the globe. Electronics disappeared off shelves. Thousands of factories shut down. From just one missing chip. Now imagine the entire supply chain breaking down. Your job, your business, your country's economy, all of it is connected to this geopolitical chessboard. You may not be a player, but you are standing on the board. So what's the bottom line? China's rise isn't just one country's story. It's proof of what's possible, that with planning, patience, and relentless execution, you can change everything. But this rise is reshaping global power, creating new dependencies, new tensions, new conflicts. And history tells us these kinds of shifts rarely end quietly. In the next video, we're going deeper. How China is using artificial intelligence and technology to engineer the next 50 years of global dominance. And the real question, is this race already over? If this video made you think, share it. Someone in your circle needs to see this. And subscribe, because the next one goes even deeper.